Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Today this video is going to cover the caliper brakes on a 2004 Dodge Dakota, and I'm going to start from the old ones, go through the rebuild, show you how to put the seals and stuff back in, and the installation. So let's get started. Alright, so as I said, these are the calipers for the 2000 Dakota, and these are the fronts. It's got two pistons in it, and the rear calipers are a single piston. Okay, this is the old set that came with the old chassis. I have a different set that's all ready to go. I'm just going to keep these for cores if I have to turn cores back in. When you're doing these on the front spindle, this bolts onto the back spindle, and then the caliper sits on that, and it slides on here. These are hard to find, and they're expensive if you can find them. I found a set on eBay. They're hard and they're expensive. So if you can save this, take it off, clean these holes out, clean this up here. There's a rubber boot that's going to sit on here, and we're going to cover that, and just clean all this up. There's metal clips that stick on here. You can clean it all up. Take your ream. We're going to go through here, clean those threads out, and you can reuse this. It's not hurt, but these are expensive. Okay, so here's the calipers, and this is what we're going to cover. Now I'm going to show you, first we have to do is we're going to pop these pistons out, and this is what it's, let me get it set up and we'll cover that. Okay, what I have here is the rear caliper. I'm going to do this because it's just, so I'm going to pop one piston just for you to show. What we have here is, this is the boot seal. That's the one I removed. Okay, that is sitting right here. Okay, then behind it, or actually in it, this is the piston. This is what we're actually going to be popping out. Okay, it's a ceramic like plastic piston. Okay, smooth. We don't want to damage the sides if we're going to reuse these. They do resell these in kits. They're not that expensive, but if you do find one that's gouged or anything, you can replace it. So that's the piston. That is sitting in here right now. This boot seal is sitting right on top of it. Okay, what happens is when after a period of time, when you start wearing your brakes down, this boot will actually pull out. It'll look like a condom. It goes this, yeah, it goes this way. It'll pop right out like that. Okay, so that's the boot seal here. So what we're going to do is, I took the banjo off and the banjo bolt off, and I'm going to insert air pressure into here. It doesn't take a whole lot of air pressure to push this out. Okay, and you don't want it to, what I'm going to do here is, I don't want this thing to fly out because it comes out at such a high rate of speed, it ricochets, it's going to go somewhere. I've got a shield on so that it'll protect my eyes. You should do the same thing. I'm going to put wood in here. I'm going to inject air in here. You'll be able to see the piston pop out, and you'll hear it. Okay, shield down. Let's try this again. Boom. Exactly what I wanted to show. Get rid of the air. Okay, see how that just flew right out of there? Now that boot, this is the boot I was telling you about that expands. That's this one right here. It's sitting out. Let's bring it out a little bit more. That other one's pretty well seized up. Okay. That was awesome right there. That was good. Good show. Pull this out. Like I say, this is what comes out. And you just clean this up. You can reuse this. I had to put channel locks on this right here and twist it, but I could grab this because it's on this side of the seal, so it's still on the clean part. Okay, this is where the seal actually bites in. That's got a hell of a groove in it right there. So that's one of the reasons why it's all sealed up. Okay, so anyway, that's what came out. So now let me move around here and let me show you. Okay, so right here is the edge of this seal, of this boot. Okay, and you just put it right here at the corner, pop it down, and this is what you're doing is you actually grab the corner and you push down like that. This will collapse it, and then you can go ahead and walk this out. Inside of here, and I'll show you here shortly, there's the second ring. It's the wiper ring. It's on the inside. So these are the calipers. I picked these up last weekend off of a Dakota that was over at Pick Apart. So I brought these home. They were extremely nasty. So I scaled them and then I sandblasted them and then I put the wire wheel on them. So now they're ready for painting. I just have to clean them out and get all the dust and dirt out of them. So here we go. Calipers are now in converter, cleaned and ready. And this is what I just went to pick up today, is VHT caliper paint in red. So we'll see, that's tomorrow's project. Here's the materials that we used for this rebuild kit. Okay, there's the part numbers. The brand that I used was Brake Best, and these came from O'Reilly Auto. Okay, banjo bolt. Make sure if you're going to reuse these, that these holes are clean. That's hollow. Make sure it's totally clean, nothing inside of it. If they're rusty, these are only, they come in packs, single packs, and they're only like $2 a piece. They're really cheap. Replace it, because it sucks when you got rusty corners and your socket slips on it. Okay, bleeder screw, same thing. These come in to a pack, and they're less than $1 for the two. They're real cheap. Mine was rusted, so I said I'll piss on it. I went ahead and replaced them both, or all four. Okay, so there's your part number for that. Okay, your piston has two rings. You have a wiper ring, which stays stationary, and this white keeps the compression on the piston. There's one per piston. And then this is the boot. This is the one that expands. To get it out, just take your screwdriver and grab one end of it and just drive it straight in and it pops right out. Don't even fart with it. Okay, you can see the rust packing in there. So that's gonna start leaking. So it was just bust out, just let's get new stuff. Okay. And I'm not sure what's one here, but one box you're gonna get is 2 boots and 2 wipers, and then the other box is a singles, and it's 1 and 1. Okay, the singles are going to be for the rear. The front piston, or the front calipers, are going to use 2 pistons. Okay, the grease that you're putting these back together, you should always use, is a synthetic caliper grease. You don't want to use any bearing grease or anything like that, because it starts to decay and it actually binds stuff up at the heat. So you want to use synthetic braking caliper grease. Okay, to lubricate the pistons and the parts when you put them back together, you want to only use the brake fluid, because that's what they live in anyway. No grease or nothing else. .3 is fine. The book says .3 is fine. It recommends 4, but if you got 3, 3 is doing good. And then always make sure that your parts are clean before reassembly. So you're gonna get you a can. These are damn cheap. I burn these up like crazy. But get you some brake part cleaner. So that's the material that you're gonna need to do this brake job and your rebuild kit. Okay, now that the calipers are cleaned up, this is the front, this is the rear. So the rear has a single piston, and the fronts have a double piston. Okay, there's some differences that you need to pay attention to. So the banjo bolts, make sure that these threads are clean, and they'll go all the way down when you're finished. I even wrote it down there, but they will torque down to 20 foot-pounds. Okay, these are brand new copper washers. You only want to smash them down once. They compress down. You only want to use them once. Okay, we're going to leave that there. Okay, on the fronts, you'll see that there's an R and there's an L. And above it, there's no hole, and then this is a hole here for the bleeder. So this caliper is for the left side. So I tag mine here as a left, so I won't miss that. Okay. On the right side, you'll see the difference. The R, the L, no hole, there's an R. This one goes to the right. When, we'll put this back. When it's mounted on the truck, okay, you won't see this side, you see this side. This is the front of the caliper. Okay. When you turn the wheel to do your bleeding, you want your bleeder to be on top and the banjo in the center. Okay, this way all the air that's in here will actually work its way back up to the bleeder and shoot out. Okay, we don't want any air trapped in here if it was mounted upside down. We don't want anything up in this way. Okay, so R, L, and this is for the left. Okay, that's important to know. All right, I'm going to set this aside. Okay, now in comparison to the two rear calipers, okay, here's the back, here's the banjo bolt. Okay, in reference to what these are, there are no markings as far as left and right. So again, when you're looking at the back side, or you're looking at this, the caliper's on the back of the wheel, so you're going to want this on top. So this one is the right side. Looking at the caliper, we're going to be on the driver's side. Okay, bleeder's going to be on top. So this is our left side. That's going to be the difference. And then this one, like I said, no markings left or right like the other one did. So I just put a piece of tape on here so I know which ones are which. So let's get started on putting our first piston in. Okay, if you look on the inside of the bore here, you can see, so this hole here, this is where your banjo bolt comes through. Okay, and then this one over here, that is where your zerd is for your bleeder. Okay, the wall needs to be clean. You have a it's going to be right here. There's a small channel that's cut in right there. Okay, that is for the wiper ring that's going to go there. And then the other seal, which is on the outside, that needs to be just as clean, and that is the boot seal, the outer seal. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So let's first put the wiper in. Okay, the wiper is just a square. There's no bevels to it, no turns, no nothing, just a wiper ring, but it's just squared sides. Okay, hungry. Hold it down with one finger, just work it around. It gets to the point where you can't see anything. It's all feel. But you want to be able to get it squarely in there all the way around. And that's what it looks like all the way around. It barely sticks up past the metal itself. Okay, and it's just going to wipe the piston. Okay, that's the wiper. Next, we have the piston. That piston's not going to go in there very easy. We're going to have to coerce it. But on top of that, you have the boot seal. Once this is in here, you're going to play hell trying to get the inside of that seal in this groove here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the boot on the piston first. So on the seal, you see this is that little hump there. That's going to sit right there. So this whole surface sits flush with the outside of the case. Okay, so all this will slide inside and sit in that seal. So this is the front. So we're going to pull the boot out first, and there's a little edge of the boot here that's going to sit in this ring. So we're going to walk it around. Come on, I'm right-handed, sorry. Pull this thing out here. Okay, so takes a little bit of fun. Hold it down as you walk it around. It's not bad. You can stretch it if it's new. Come on, girl. Come on. There we go. Here we go. Boom. Okay. So now, that's what it looks like. And it's locked in there. So we're going to pull this seal all the way down past that edge. Okay, and that's where it's going to sit. Okay, it came out of its hole. We're going to put it back in. Okay, and just slowly just pull the seals back up to the front. Come on. Birds. You did it right the first time. Come on. Come on, you heard that little pop. These are the little rubber flaps I'm fighting with. There you go. That's what you want. There you go. Okay. You'll hear it snap into place. This is what it looks like when it's ready to go. Okay. And it's sealed in there. Now, take a little brake fluid. And we're going to wet the piston down a little bit more. It was born in, it's where it lives, so it gets lubricated here. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to stop it right there. It went in snug. So now what I got to do here, I don't want to push just the piston in, because that's all I was doing, is pushing the piston past the wiper. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Ah! Okay. Now I got to get that seal to push into here. So I'm going to push, I'm going to use a steel plate here. This is going to give me equal pressure all the way around to push the entire seal in all at once. So I'm going to give it one more, because I can still get a fingernail in there. I like to see that get a little bit more flush. A little bit more flush. There we go. So our piston is flush, our seal is flush, that piston is in. Okay, so this piston is done. Let's move on to the second one. Okay, this wiper ring I already have in. So here's my piston. I just put them in bags to keep them clean and away from dirt and grease and shit. Get rid of trash. Okay. Okay, as I say, I already put this wiper on. Alright, that's on here. We're just going to push this on here. Listen to it pop. Come on. It's not, didn't pop all the way. See, I probably need to do it here. So we're gonna pull it out here. There's one. There's two. Okay. That looks good all the way around. Our seal is in. Let's get her all wet. Yeah. Not like I have to give it a bath, I just want it all wet. want that banjo bolt in there. Come on. Get out of there. Like I said in the earlier videos, these banjo bolts, the others were all rusted on top, and I didn't want to see that. Not on new seals and stuff. So here we go. Bring this in. Okay, and slowly we roll. Okay, I felt like it went in real nice. There we go. Yep, I can feel her sliding in. It was just a little thump, just get past that rubber seal wiper. I'm going to take this seal up to the edge here, right there. Oh, because I don't want to push the piston past it and have the rubber stick out like this. Okay. I want it to be flush when I'm finished. Steel plate, give me equal pressure. Turn it, hope you guys can see this. Let me see if I can zoom in for you. It's just a light pressure on the C-clamp as it sneaks in. Get a little nudge, and I come back out. And all you have is just the lip of that. It doesn't go in any further. There we have okay, now we're starting on the front calipers. I've taken the banjo out because after you get this piston in, you start pushing this, you're going to have compressed air and this one's going to pop out. So we remove this way all air will come out this banjo. That's the reason I did it. Alright, so I've already installed my wipers in here. Okay, so let's get the boots on the piston first. 2 layers there, 1 layer, 2 layers. Okay. Okay, I'm good to go. All right. The seal's there all the way around. Good to go. I need this. Lube up my piston. Okay, and we'll go with the first one. Come on, there we go. Gotta touch up my paint. Okay. I've used the actual brake pad, brake shoe, put that in here. Done that before, especially when you're pushing the piston in. It's the quickest thing you got on hand. I just think it's a little too big for here. Come on, go. Pushed right in there, didn't it? Looky there. Okay. A little shy on the inside. That's good. A little shy over here. So we'll fix that. Let's just tend to it now so it's no longer an issue. Okay, one done. Moving along. Okay, already lubed up. Let's re-lube this for fun. Okay. And away we go. Now we're going to get into the front caliper brackets. these are identical. Okay? So we have to, what's going to matter is what side are they going to be on and what bolts are actually going to be used. So these are the slides. If you notice the slide, one of them has a rubber cushion on it. Other than that, the pins are identical, except one has the cushion, one does not. Okay? It does matter where this one goes. They both are interchangeable. They'll go in there, or interchangeable. Boom and boom. Okay. What matters is this cushion is for noise reduction, the chatter, the vibration. Okay. When this gets bolted on, this slides over your disc itself. Okay. So if this is the front and this is the passenger side, okay, the caliper is going to sit on top of here. On the driver's side, you want to make sure what these are stated as, these go on the trailing side of these here. So, okay, so this is the caliper bracket, and it's just temporarily bolted in here. The wheel, as it spins forward like this, okay, this would be the secondary bolt because this is trailing. After it hits here, then this is trailing. The rubber cushion goes in this one up here. And on the reverse side over there, the cushion's going to go on the top because it's always on here. Okay? So the other pin without the cushion goes on here. So, cushion's on top for this one. I'll just stuff it in here. This way we know which one it's going to be in. So with that explanation, this is what I was just working on. It's going to be this one right here. This is this one here. Okay, so I'll get to that shortly. Alright. They have a rubber boot in here. This pin gets the grease. So we can gob her up. Look at that. Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to squeeze some down in that boot. Okay. So this boot here, see that little lip? There's a little lip there. That's what the boot is going to pop over. Okay. We're just going to push this in. Watch the boot. Contact. Wipe her off. And done. So now I'm pushing the rest of the time, all that grease that I packed in there, now it's getting pushed up into here and will provide its own lubrication. Okay, so this side has no rubber and it's going to sit right in here, same thing. So we grease this here. They say don't put any on the tip because you don't need any back that way, you just need it on the shaft itself. And again, just see if I can push some back in there. Okay. says pop. Done. Clean off your excess. Okay, that side's done. Do this side. Pop. And okay. Alrighty. So grab another paper towel. Let's do the other side. Okay, let me trade these off for these. Okay, so now in here, flip it upside down for fun. You have these rubber boots. So after cleaning and soaking them, they kind of lost their color. Now they're just green, weird. But I got 3 of them that are black that were fine. So as you see, it's got this center section here, and after a while, these come in kit. You could purchase these as well. The rust kind of adheres to it, keeps it from popping out. You have to fight with it. So to get these out, where'd it go? Hold on a second. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Bring you over here. Toss you out. Okay. This is my nasty one here. Okay, so this is damaged because it's already got a wear spot in it, so I don't want it. Alright, so this is what it looks like when it's in here, okay, and it's a solid ring. So all we're going to do is I'm just going to fold it in half and push this down like this. And then just try to rock it loose and break the seal between this and the metal. Because right now it doesn't want to move. So you can hear it peeling away. Hear that? So I got it folded in half now. Now I can spin it and I can push it out. Okay, so that's what it is. Just go in there, fold it in half like that, and you can break the seal between here and then just spin it and then pull it on out. This is no good. Okay, so that's that direction. Now we're going to go in the correct direction and put it back in. Okay, so I want to use no holes. I have 4 of them. That one has a hole in it. That one's good. That one's good. Okay. Those 2 have holes in them. Let's just take this. Okay. 2 black and 2 green. Alright. So putting it back in is the same thing. Gotta fold her in half. Push it in. Okay, one. There's that. Okay. These are the slide pins. They sit in here. Okay. And these edges or grooves here are the lip of the boot right there, both sides. So it's going to sit inside of here, and you're only going to see that much of it sticking out because the rest of it's going to be under the boot. Okay. So there again, we need some lube. Okay, let's go in from this way. Okay. Okay, that's messy. Okay, but it's on. So like I said, it sits in that groove on this side, and it sits on this groove on this side. And then clean the rest of your grease off. Grease isn't going to do you any good on the outsides. Okay, one. Whew. Where's my second one? Right here. Got my second pin. Okay, let's grease her up. Yep. Okay. So that's it's always the start. Always the start. Once you get her in there, she's snug too, man. It's just a slow and easy push. Let's do it this way so you can see it. Easy push. Okay, now just rock it over that lip. I could push it back. Let's push it back in. I felt it go back into that groove. It's in. Okay. Not too hard. Not too hard. Clean her up. I have to wipe all this shit off when I get her on the truck. Okay. There's that side. Poof. Let's put this over on there. And okay, so I've installed the bracket for the caliper, and I torqued the bolts down to 150 pounds. So it's ready to go. Now it's ready for the brake shoes and then the caliper. So the brake shoes, when they go on, here's a set of brake shoes that's going on. There's a difference here. There's nothing on here as far as additional mounting. On the back side of this one is this little piece of metal. This is a tattletale right here, okay? And on this side here, you can see it protrudes out past the plate like 1/8 of an inch. When this pad wears down, this actually wears down to nothing. When it wears down to that 1/8 inch, it'll start, this disc right here, it just will start rubbing on this, and you're gonna hear a squeal. That's the tattletale to let you know, let's change our pads before you start tearing this rotor up, or this disc up. Okay, this tattletale is going to ride on the inside. Okay, so it's going to sit in here. Okay, what I do want to do real quick here, stay, don't go anywhere. I want to apply a little grease just for fun. Just a little bit, doesn't have to be a whole lot. Okay, and what this is for, because these tits that stick out here, these ride in a track. We're just going to give it less resistance. More ease of ride in there. Come on. So there's that pad. Then here's your front. There's nothing on there. Now at this point, when you start playing with this, you want clean hands. You don't want any grease on them. Just prior to the video, I started spray some brake cleaner on your hands and then wipe it off, get all the film and stuff off of it. You don't want to touch this as much as possible, but just want to keep it clean from here on out. Now we're ready for our caliper. So our bolts come out. Before I do that, there's something I want to add to this here. Stay here, stay. This is an anti-squeak. Stops brake noise. It just gets rubbed on the inside and outside of the brake shoes. Now I'm ready for the caliper. Okay, I have the R. I'm on the right side. Caliper slides in here. Like so, stay. You didn't stay. Go. Oh man. Okay, caliper, move here. Move, come on. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna pop those. Those get taken down to 22 psi or pounds. I'm not going to do that right now because, as you see, this is still a brand new system. I don't have any brake lines. I got to put brake lines on this thing here. Where's my new brake line? This is for the other side, but this belongs to the other side. Bolt here, it'll go against the frame, then move along, like 35 bucks. Okay, so that's my front caliper. Now we're going to move to the rears. Okay, so now here we are at the back side, the rear. Okay, so these are the rear pads. This would be the front pad because it's got these two fingers that stick out, help hold it on to the front of the caliper. And on the back side, this shoves into the piston itself, and that holds it in place. These are just there for it to ride, and these are actually going to sit and ride on these rails right here. So yeah, it's painted for now. It'll clear off. That's not a problem. When I get another kit, there's a metal plate that sits on top of these, like that chrome one. They sit on top of it and allow it to slide. That kit is on its way. This particular brake here, I'll show you. What's that here? So I'm just going to put this on, but it's not going to get tight because I got to come back off. In here are the guts for the parking brake or the emergency brake. Okay, all that was rutted and gone, so I just ripped it all out. So all this is brand new, and I'm waiting for the brake shoes and stuff to come in, along with these rails. then I could go ahead and put all this together and tighten it down correctly. But for now, I'm just going to show you how it all goes together. Okay, so this goes in. Yay. All right, then we're going to slide our caliper shoe, because that's going to sit inside of there. Okay. This rail, I'm sorry, this shoe will come in here and will sit in this, like that. Okay. That's how they will sit. There's 2 pins. Come on, I'll show you. Quit. All right, these are going to hold it up. You'll see these little pins that stick out. Okay, they sit in these holes. So when this pops in, they have to line up. Yeah. Boom. Okay, so now they're in the holes. Keeps it in place. Now they're not going to fall out. Okay. We're going to set it on here. And this way, this goes this way. They go in there. Okay. Gotta convince it. Well, that's a learning curve. That one goes in there first. Come on. Boom, boom. There you go. Got extra greasy. Okay, I'm back. Okay. So if those metal tracks were here, then I would put a little grease on them. There's already grease in this. This is tight for now, but this will come right back off because I got to go back in here. But that concludes the end of the back side. Now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap for the calipers for the 2004 Dodge Dakota. I hope this helps anybody that is doing this kind of project. Please like and subscribe. It does help. And off to brake lines. That's going to be the next video. Thank you.